It's a great start for Crew in this elimination match. I'm now joined by their head coach, Adam. Now, it seems like a theme. You guys have great starts so far in this tournament, but looking ahead at the rest of the maps, Icebox was a map that you guys didn't want to play against DRX. What was the reason for you to leave it open this time around, and is that a risk at all, you think?
No, we think that Bind was their best chance, like to having an advantage over us. So we decided to ban that map for this series, to keep playing Icebox as we was, and I don't know, just face it and try to close this series 2-0.
You are prepared for this?
Yes, I think we're really prepared for this.
I can't wait to see it. Thank you very much, and best of luck on Icebox.
And Crew managed to pick up a big win against BLG at the start of this one on Lotus. And don't get it wrong, all right? Don't get it twisted. It was a tough one at times. BLG certainly made these guys work for each and every round that they got, Mimi.
Yeah, I think the game started pretty close. BLG had a lot of opportunities with some cool plays with their, especially their neon stuff on the attacking side. But second half, as it was in their game against Fnatic, it was all about the team play being off. And this entire half was just BLG in solo positions and Crew contacting around the map as a group and having man-up fights that they won.
Yeah, I mean, it was just painful to watch, really, as well, just putting it out like this, because you watch a few VODs of Crew, you know how they play, which is this contacting style. They group up as 3 to 5. It's optional in terms of the amount of bodies that you decide to put onto it if you're Crew.
Depends if you want to be involved or not.
Yep, depends if you want to be involved. And they just contact in and make sure that they peak together and take fights together. If you're just going to offer them constantly these solo engagements, like, don't get me wrong, Heat, Kesnet, saving a day in multiple moments, you have to be hitting for this playstyle to work, but that's the thing about Crew. They got firepower in spades. Most of the players are going to be hitting on an average day, and I think it's showcased in that second half where they just absolutely stole the spotlight.
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing BLG needs is to just slow things down on their defensive sides. Take that time to group back up and play a little bit more structured.
They were a little too far ahead sometimes.
Absolutely.
Sticking way too long around, like, you know, especially in like some of those earlier fights.
And don't get me wrong, BLG has good individuals. We saw that with players like YZ, but I still think they got gapped, not only by the strong individuals from Crew, players like Shy having an incredible map there, but overall it was just a complete team play diff, I think, for Crew to go up a series. A map in the series here.
Yeah, you know, if it works for them, right? The contacting around the map, looking to take those fights here and there, right? It's
very strong against teams that lie like fully in individualism, I think. Like just trying to swing for a smoke, try and take a fight. Don't get me wrong, like as well. YZ, there was elements of him trying to be set up by somebody util because they're running that initiator comp on that first map. Yeah. You know, you saw some fault lines and he's peeking, he's gliding, whatever, just trying to get the picks. But I think Crew's playstyle will rip apart teams that opt into fights all the time if they're not ready to really just back it up with even more utility, with even more bodies, which we didn't really see evidence of.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. Well, let's go ahead and take a look. You mentioned YZ. Well, let's talk about him a little bit more in our Verizon high-speed moment. YZ picked up a 3K in round 5. And, you know, this is the guy that you're going to, you know, be looking toward to be the X factor for this team. And when he does have those moments, which is what we saw, you know, like a few times, especially on Lotus against Fnatic last time they played, right? YZ was
even in this round, look where he is compared to the rest of his team. He has ran all the way around the site before anyone else is even touching the plant zone.
He does take the right pauses to wait for like a fault line, to wait for a seize before he peaks. Like that's the reason he's got a 3-piece.
Yeah,
it's because he's waiting for the key piece of util to set him up for success in those fights. Got to see more of that, I think, moving into the second map, 100%, because it was a little bit more of the ladder, which was just, again, individualism, hero plays to try and salvage them out of a really poor situation.
And when you think back to their big upset last year against NRG, I think it did have to rely a lot on the individualism to step that up, but I think we did see more rounds like that one we watched where it did rely a little bit more on having util to set up. I think Billy in both series now has been better on their attacking sides. I think their protocols are a lot cleaner there. I really think map 2 is all about cleaning up their defense if they want to come back.
Yeah, well, let's talk about map 2 briefly because we have Icebox coming up here. You heard Coach Adam mention that they felt like Bind was their best shot at winning, and they wanted to take that shot away from them. But Crew's Icebox isn't something to be too enthusiastic about.
It's not too hot. It's really not too hot, but I do
you can say it's ice.
Okay, you're pushing it like that, GP. He's pushing his leg on the desk. He's getting a little bit too silly. His camps are going to be serious. You're getting too silly. No, but I do like his reasoning where he was just getting rid of Bind, because I completely agree. It's the strongest map for Bilibili and YZ as well with his playstyle. I think that the fact that they can just go into these big exits, they don't have to rely on their macro as much,
Sure.
really lends itself to the strengths of Bilibili as a team. You saw that. They contested with Fnatic and pushed them in a lot of degrees as well, a lot of those rounds. So they removed the biggest strength away. I don't hate it. You basically bank on the fact that one of your maps that you're poorest at, you're still going to be better at your opponents, even though they want to play into it.
Yeah. Well, we'll shelve that talk about Icebox for a second and hear from the coach over at Bilibili, because I want to know what's going on over there as they get ready for map 2.
I've got Coach Bio here from BLG with me and Jen to do some translations ahead of map 2. Now, there were some chaotic moments for you guys on map 1. I wanted to ask you, is there anything you want to see differently from your players going on to map 2?
1세트에는 약간 혼란스러운 그런 경기가 펼쳐지기도 했었잖아요. 2세트 앞두고 좀 선수들이 어떤 점을 보완하면 좋을까요?
사실 혼란스러운 거를 조금 많이 유도를 일부러 했고요. 저희가 약간 이제 흔히 말하는 이제 개싸움 그런 거를 조금 자신 있어 해서 그거를 좀 많이 중점적으로 연습을 했었는데, 어쨌든 세세한 콜에서 조금 스킬 타이밍이 좀 안 맞는 게 좀 있었다라든가 아니면 이제 샷미스가 조금 많이 나오다 보니까 로터스를 좀 주게 됐는데, 2세트는 아무래도 저희가 고른 아이스박스니까 저희끼리 준비한 것만 사실 잘하면 문제는 없을 것 같아요. 선수들이 뭐 긴장하거나 뭐 그런 건 딱히 없어서 컨디션이 가장 중요할 것 같습니다.
Well, we actually wanted it to be chaotic. That's how we wanted the Lotus to go. Kind of, the so-called dogfights that we wanted to take. But I think there was slight miscommunication and mistakes when it comes to a little bit of timing and util usage and stuff. But Icebox is our map pick, and we're very well prepped. I don't think the players are feeling nervous at all. So if we play a clean game and our best game as we prepped, then I think we're good.
I can't wait to see it. Thank you very much, Jen, and thank you, Coach Bio, as well.
I love the, we like to play a little muddy, but also we're going to play a clean game on Icebox. I happen to appreciate that.
And I mean, this guy would know a thing about that. Coach Bio, not Chinese, he's Korean, and he's a legend in the Korean esports scene. One of those original members in CS back in the day, making waves for Korean esports there. Now trying to bring that same success for Bilibili here in Korea. We see their comp, it's pretty much similar to what people were playing as the standard last year, but with a solo KO instead of Sova, which really giving up that drone, I feel like, is a big loss.
Yeah, it's bizarre. I think you're kind of missing, I think, a big op clearance as well. You have to be really diligent in terms of jump peaks.
And against Kesnet,
and Kesnet
too.
is on the jet now. He switched that back. He was playing Arena before, I believe, off the top of my head.
He was.
And he's going to be leaning into the op as well as part of the defensive protocols. They're starting on the defensive half. I'm going to be paying big attention to that. I think the Bilibili might get eviscerated. It depends. I mean, if crew can get the ball rolling, the pistol round win, get the economy flowing, maybe that's a big factor to look forward to.
I think that is the biggest danger. If Bilibili is going to find success, I think it has to come off of following up this KO, trying to find some cleaner pop flash plays to get YZ success. But I think it's going to be tough. Crew's looking good right now and primed to end Bilibili's year.
Bilibili is looking down the barrel of elimination. Can they manage to force their way back into a map 3, back into this series? Let's send it back over to your casters now, Pansy and Steel.
Thank you, GB in the desk, and I think they kind of highlighted a couple of the points that we wanted to kind of lean into as well. Coming into this, though, on paper, a good opportunity for Bilibili to do some work, but there are some things that are standing out to you here, Josh, that caught your eye that could mean a problem or two, and it comes in the name of Kesnet, pretty much.
Kesnet, Bilibili need to basically win pistol and get the rounds going in their favor right now. They need to keep the economy down for crew. Once Kesnet gets that op up, Bilibili, they don't really have any options. They have no drones or darts. They're going to have to just repeat, go A. But here, coming towards B, they got that pistol round. Melzer just backs off, knows he can't really deal with this.
Yeah, instantly calling in the cavalry, but they're going to have the site, at least to the extent where they can secure a plant here for Bilibili. So Wall's going to go up deep.
Deep wall.
Yeah, that's nice. And YZ actually going to try and contest the kitchen too. Why not take the space you feel you've been given here? The knife only noting Melzer earlier on. Ooh, careful. Yeah, almost got caught there. I was worried if someone was peeking on that wall, dropping, but no. All safe, all sound for now. A 5v5 post plant.
This flank.
Oh, the timing though. YZ's position's fantastic, but it is going to be countered in a way. Kesnet, back-to-back impact. YZ needs to kind of almost mirror that as well. Yosemite finally securing the back line, but there's so much pressure. They've already got side control. They've got steps towards this crew, clearing out, clearing house, and claiming that first critical round. That's huge for them here. And I quite like the initial approach from Billy, but that post plant, they couldn't hold it.
They didn't follow through with their plan. They got into that site. They got it for free. They got exactly what they wanted. Sage wall up. Jets dash into the tube, into like on the bridge.
Yep.
They've got that space. Why not kind of reinforce that area? Get players under the Jet. Make it really tricky for crew to find their way back in. Yes, Kesnet has a good flank. Yes, Shy's got that Sheriff on that long range. But I mean, that first kill still went in the way of YZ. Like, that should be a round that Billy gets. And if they're not able to convert these post plants on a round that's gifted to them like this, I feel like crew, they're just going to walk away with this map as well.
We'll see. We'll see if there's fight in them yet. Just a ghost for Yosemite in the Restaurant Classics. Looking at Kesnet with the Outlaw as well, so hoping to maybe take that through. He already going to find YZ. Shouldn't be too much to write home about in this sort of round. Oh, easy enough. Easy enough. And if Kesnet starts feeling confident, that scares me. You're going to get the knives up early. You're going to start feeling out the game a bit. The confidence starting to build, because he is part of the win con, right? You want to see him with that operator quite early on, you could imagine. So maybe apply further pressure here. Neff, yeah, outgunned on this one. And yeah, very secure, very safe, composed. Crew do well here, make it to the second. Billy just looking to get through that round, it felt like.
It really does feel like Billy doesn't have any options outside of trying to get these executes off, namely towards A, because it's very hard to clear out that back yellow area on B. If they keep going towards A, though, and Kesnet's sitting there, I mean, he's got that Outlaw right now.
What puts him off the...
What takes him off?
The line,
the
right?
flash, maybe, but you really have to capitalize on that timing. The only other option, really, is using something around middle. But right now, I mean, Kesnet's trying to get that info down tube right now.
I'm looking at any light shields, no, so they're going to have noted that Outlaw before.
Yeah.
It can still do a lot of damage, don't get me wrong. And it's a proactive start from crew. There was a supporting act towards Kesnet, taking some sort of pressure down towards Tube. He did have the two players. I think Heat was not too far away, and Shy. Now, something you were considering, and it looks like that is the right answer, at least for Billy, was this approach towards A. Almost has to be reticent in approach on this. 3 players committed towards that maze side swing. Wall's going to go up, though. And YZ, head first for Halos. I don't know what the plan was. Maybe hoping you'd be able to get towards the back line, get some pressure, but it's swatted away. What felt like almost too easily. And the pressure on the side for K9, they're going to have to fall away for a second, get himself healed up, go for the high plant towards Nest. That is going to go in. No spam on that one. And they can start shifting back into the post plant. K9 going to take a body with him, though. That Shy gone down. Big impact, and it's tricky to make these guns work. You have Guardians here. Stingers, 1 upgrade for MTA. And Kesnet does have the Vandal as well, so they've got a little bit of something.
No smokes for 8 seconds.
There's the pressure as well towards the plant. Kesnet, we're going to take down Neff, though. There comes at least... Oh, deflected. It bounced off for crew now. Nothing stopping them. Oh, right under their noses. The defuse is there. Billy going to be kicking themselves for that.
Yeah, that's tough. Because Billy, they got in. Yeah, YZ goes down early. I think that flash from the KO is supposed to deal with that player there, but perfectly positioned. Perfectly positioned, I think, under the rafter.
Under the rafters.
The flash might have popped a little bit too high.
Maybe we
and
catch
then
that. Let's see.
Oh,
it went over the wall.
Just over the wall. Otherwise, full blind opening for Billy. And it's these post plants that they're not able to convert that well. Crew doing a really good job again here on the retake, though. Smiling and laughing about it.
Yeah.
Wingman just stuck it. No contest.
Wow. Okay. And YZ, there's no stopping this, but it's individual. It's disconnected, and it finds him nothing. That's, again, this plays very heavily towards crew every time this sort of scenario happens. Still with the Outlaw coming in. Light armor on Neff, light armor on Yosemite. Billy, rinse, repeat. Back towards this site, a different plant here, safer, securer. They do at least have, actually, speaking about it, not that much util for the post plant this time around, so they can't play it the same way.
They're also down a man. Looking to get that opening.
Dizzy going through, doesn't find what they wanted, but Heat's going to kind of backfill the space. You thought that was his every day. Apparently not. K-Knight lives. Hard to deal with this deeper post plant, drawing out the utility as they go. And Shy already clearing out Yosemite. Another tap on the spike should draw another player forward. It's going to be Nep this time to challenge, and good trades. Crew keeping this at least competitive. MTA! And they've got time on this one. Crew dealing with this. I've got to say, I want an early timeout for Bilibili here. These post plants, those deeper holds, they're not working, Josh. They're getting the site, they're getting the plant, but beyond that, they're not able to hold it.
I'm not trying to be cringe. It just comes naturally. But Crew's really bringing the heat right now here. Again, another opening kill for him. And yeah, I mean, a timeout would be nice, but I don't know how much of it will solve what Bilibili's actual issues are. Because they're getting onto the sites, they're getting the spike planted. That hasn't been the issue. They've got it clean on pistol round, they got it a couple times down on A as well without really that much issue. The problem is converting the late round. They're out of abilities and they're falling back, and here, they just get the fuse under their noses, basically. Wingman on round 3, and then here it's just... They got to get some kills.
Yeah, it sounds so simple when you say it that way.
Just kill.
But now we have the added issue. The one that we were talking about, the desk was alluding to, the operator with Kesnit. That in hand, it controls, it commands so much respect. A similar exec that we saw before. No one playing ahead. Kesnit not going to be sat down towards the lower side of rafters. A similar plant going to be coming in, I can imagine. No spam on this. And it's Shy, finds flexing, and already the backline going to be pressured this time by Kesnit on a long flank. Bilibili can't sit deep anymore. They've tried it before and it didn't work out. Hunter's Fury, maybe going to clear out here. You're looking at Melza maybe to swing on it, he does. Yosemite gets caught, he goes down, and player by player they're falling, and the pressure, the issues compounding. K-Knight's gone. This is simplistic work from Crew. They make it look so easy.
The slow strangle. Bilibili from all angles, a flawless team ace as well. It's just, you don't really have that many options with this composition if you're Bilibili. Maybe if you split off, do a 4-1 instead of a 5-man hit, you're getting into the site for free. Kesnit hasn't even been opping. Like, it's so easy for Crew right now, and they haven't even been opping. What's going to happen now when the op comes out? Are you going to switch it up and try to go B instead? What options do you have? Again, once that knife lands at yellow, you have nothing else to clear out. Is there someone else? Is there a bait setup? And then again, once you get that plant with that wall down, what is the next action? But they have the res. Maybe they can go somewhere else.
Maybe I was kind of, I say maybe hoping to get a lurk on top of this, but it's still going to be, like there are options for Bilibili, but you're already 5-0 down. It feels uncomfortable. You still need to find out where Kesnit is early on, right? You still need to go through that protocol list that gets added in. Maybe you can activate a lurk to pressure on that, on the post plant, maybe, you know, deal with a little bit of something, but it's still not easy. You're banking on them maybe not having utility in the right place. There's still so much for them to work through to deal with Crew here.
And they've tried that lurk, actually. They tried inserting up tube early. He put them down in that tube early. Thrash is up now for the defense as well. I do want to see Bilibili utilize this res sometime early on. Right now, Crew's letting them into the site. Hey, nothing's going to happen. But maybe Bilibili starts somewhere, goes for that early fight on that long range, picks up the player with the res, and then once they've diagnosed the setup, they make a plan and go somewhere else. I want to see them use middle a little bit more. It's going to be so tough for them to go actually commit to an ending on B, but it looks like here they're posturing to start there.
We wanted to see this. This was the worry. This was the threat. The operator in hand. Right place, right time. How does it fare? Kesnit getting curious.
Deep molly at elbow. Giving that opening for Kesnit to post on garage.
Careful.
No drone to clear him out.
This looks like a death sentence if they keep going this way. There's the first shot and the flash. He's forced off the first angle. They can start taking steps. The knife going to be dealt with, though. So they still... Oh,
good
lovely
flash.
follow-up flash. That is fantastic from Neff. Finding Kesnit. That's exceptional work from him. High Dizzy going to come out, though. And it looks like they want to fish out on this. This is very early. There's only one player to really work off this, that being Melza. And they can't get any value for it, particularly. All in play. We're into a deeper post plant. Kesnit can't disrupt that. Already falling so early on. No flank this time. Why is he sticking close here? Maybe trying to be a real nuisance, and he is. Great from him to find two. Crew not expecting that level of pressure. And now Shine Heat, this is tough. So many players that can just swing, catch it, invest a little util. But for me, Neff was the MVP in this round from start to finish. The knife, the flash is Shy, putting up some work here. Oh my gosh, Shy! Stop it.
Right now.
Stop it, flexing. Thank you for that, Billy. Gonna keep it on track at least here. Costly as hell, but we doubted the validity, the effectiveness of that KO, and it put so much pressure on Neff for those flashes to be perfect, but they were.
They were, both flashes used so early just to take that space at too long. But I love this play from YZ, getting through that wall on that retake, knowing that the players are going to be close. Luckily, he got that line up. It could have been really bad, but they need to do something different than just backing off and letting crew get back onto the site. So I do respect that, and it is going to be something that they need to keep doing. A lot of pressure and weight's going to be on YZ's shoulders to keep repeating this.
Yeah, Neff isn't playing with the pack this time. He was taking a look towards middle.
I like what they're doing, though. You see where they're positioned? They're positioned so that they could get rezzed if they do go down early. YZ sees nothing, realizes maybe it's an open site, but also realizes maybe the jet op is towards B this round.
And there it is, confirmation. At least of where Kesnet resides. And all this space. MTA's got to have no idea. Maybe consider someone's nearby, but it's a gamble, right? You're banking on it being through that maze side rather than towards default.
Though.
Got to be careful with that barrel, but actually, they've managed to kind of pass by each other. YZ securing a lot of security here.
This is good. This is good positioning. If he doesn't get cleared, he could be good for them, but I don't want to jinx it. He's got those Blade Storms out, and it's really... If you miss...
Speaking of misses, already Kesnet doing the dance, and he comes out on top of that. 10 from the judges, as YZ has to back away here. Viper's Pit on top makes this difficult. They've secured the back line as well. They've got a lot here. That's the lockdown here. Gonna force the hand to touch. Does it get dealt with?
Seems like.
It does, just about at the end, so they get to keep their positions, make it harder for crew to try and clear house. How do they get them out of this Viper's Pit so far with a kill on K-Knight? You can see them considering getting closer. They got to go now. YZ trying to hold the line, but there's going to be the defuse starting, and finally taken away. YZ still doing damage. Yosemite falls, and oh, little bro's done the job. Nuts retake there. That was so damn close.
So close, but not good enough for Billy. Crew is so good on these retakes, and just when you thought, hey, there's no way. There's no way. But Crew pull it off, and they're consistently pulling this off. Lots of ultimates up now for Billy. It's just, it comes down to these late rounds, and there's no utility left for Billy to really just do anything. And again, it's the second time this wingman's coming clutch on this defuse.
That little guy, what a champion of the people.
Oh, it's so sad for Billy right now because they use their timeout already.
Yeah.
They have 3 really big ultimates, but they don't have the economy to follow it up.
Oh, Guardians, Ghosts, and Classics. Oh.
Kesnet on this B line. The rest of the team already stacking towards A. It's going to be 4 versus 5 here. The KO ult maybe gets him into the site, but is that it?
Are you going to go for it here? Oh, man. And again, you look at the disconnect between the next player forward, it's individual now. Billy's starting to falter here. And Crew just keeping this in hand, keeping security, keeping safety. It's all on Yosemite. He's got 2. He'd need all 5. And the spike left where it is doesn't make it any easier. 33 HP and 3 players sitting in a very tough position. Hello. See him. No, Spike is there. Glad to see Prius on the free cams. Look at him. Catching the spike. Proud of you. And this pause for thought isn't going to go too far. Left. Again, Yosemite would have to get that spike back, and they're still so cognizant of where it's dropped. And that's position noted now. No one's taking that fight. You may, well, I say that, Kesnet does. Okay, fair play. You're kind of ringing the dinner bell at that point, really, just praying to be put out of your misery. 7-1 here. This was the map you kind of hoped, right? And they're burning both timeouts.
I mean, you have to. You're going into round 9. You're down 7-1. You have 3 really big ultimates. You've been getting into the site. You've been getting the spike planted. You've been losing on the post plants, namely because you're all falling back. And Crew's doing a really good job. Sometimes they include a flank. Sometimes it's just straight up, okay, we'll go in heavy from spawn. We get the wingman on the spike, force them to peek us. But what can we do to make this a little bit different? Because this is our map pick.
Yes, this is our choice. Statistically, one of our better chances.
And we're starting attack.
Which is meant to be...
It's meant to be our stronger side. So if we're going into defense and we're at a round deficit worse than like maybe 4, it's just going to be so hard. So not only do they have to come back, they have to come back at 7-5 almost if they want to have a chance into the second half. So here, second time out burned, and they need to have a good plan coming out of this. Kesnet still has that op. He's been shifting around, namely starting towards B. Once he did a mid-walk with an outlaw, but we haven't really seen Bilibili do anything other than 5-man A or 5-man B. Occasionally they did send one player towards middle to kind of sniff it out, see what they could get, but to no avail.
These ults are so impactful. But my worry is that if Neff doesn't do what he did before, I mean, Neff's only got 1 kill, but again, it's what he was doing in the meantime to try and set them up here. How much freedom does Kesnet get? Do the ults even matter? It comes down to this. Knife goes in, that should at least catch towards Melzer.
Good damage.
It's caught both. But Kesnet doesn't care. He's sticking around enough for a shot. There's going to be the ult coming out. We spoke about these ults. But there's no respect being shown from Crew. You got to force it. You got to make them respect you, and that's why they don't. Kesnet's great for it. Melzer on the follow-up. They're locking this down. Now does it swing though? Bilibili's starting to clear out, but Heat's made it here. The whole crew is on site, and they aren't moving. It's not enough to force them away. These half-made plans, these hopes are falling to pieces for Bilibili.
That wasn't even a half-made plan. That was a timeout plan. That is the strat they pulled out after deliberating for 30 seconds. This is like, okay, we go B. Yeah, he's got off there. It's okay. He gets one early. We res. It's okay. We pop KO ulti. We go in there, lock down the post plan. Easy peasy. But it's not easy peasy. They can't even get past that yellow, and they're getting crossfired. Melzer sitting behind the box. Bilibili, what else do you have? You got to use it right here.
And this is probably one of the closer games on paper when you were looking at it in these sort of situations. You expected with the maps coming through, maybe, yes, they'd win their map, and then the third could be the close affair, but as it stands, we're not going to Sunset. The brutality of champs is so crystal clear here. Crew elevating, Crew looking ready, and Bilibili not quite having what it takes this time, it feels like, but it's 8-1, it's not over yet. Still a purchase, still a couple of those ults, and another attempt towards the A site. And Crew going to get more and more confident here.
Flexin, he's moving up towards B, off the back of all this noise, off the lockdown. Maybe trying to listen for rotation here. But is it just going to be a long game? Just a long flank? Seems like it. Team's committed into that site. Going to get that spike planted.
That's Fury.
He tanks it, but he goes down for it maybe? Narrowly.
Okay. Keep their lives. They're standing. Still alive. Late wall goes in.
Flanks on the way.
Fishshot going to come through from Heat, though. That's going to send them forward, flexing like an assassin in the back lines. Now gets a challenge in the form of Melzer, but the site's now getting contested. They're under scrutiny, they're under pressure because MTA is just racking up the bodies. Flexing, though, trying to be the hero they need, but MTA is cooking them up here, and he's going to at least get this to off. He has to get off this, though. Another 1v1 for pretty much all the marbles here. Flexing, is that worth all of what you did worth it?
He sticks it.
He sticks this. Oh, he just came off in time. Flexing, saving Bilibili, at least in this round.
Labored.
We wanted the lurk. We wanted the lurk.
We got the lurk, and it paid off. It killed the Gecko. That means no wingman on the spike.
True, true.
These are big win conditions here.
Yes.
But nobody alive for Bilibili. Like, they had to do everything. They used everything. Everyone died just to get that one more round on the board.
It was the race to the ace between these two. That was it. Literally, who aces first? 4 for either player, and then the 5th confirmed, giving Bilibili their second round for Kesnet. He's feeling out the game a bit, starting to get a bit of a read in this, but flexing. He's around that corner and he's good for it now. Billy starting to get that early blood. Maybe Crew seeing red here. Starting to heat up themselves, maybe a little too much. Getting frustrated and a little curious. Now they're going to leave it, I think it's YZ, over on a mission towards A. But all of the pressure is on this side of the map.
Is he going to call them back?
I don't know. Oh, a glimpse caught for Heat there. He was thinking about it. There's 3 players on this. The timing from YZ is...
Oh, there's a flank!
Get your gun out! Shy! What was happening? YZ strikes. And do they find him in time? They don't. Wow, they caught a glimpse, but it doesn't seem to matter. YZ cutting through him like a hot knife through butter. MTA almost aced before, not going to get an opportunity. Billy carving out the smallest window of chance.
The question is it too little too late? Because right now they're trailing by 5 rounds. And even if they pick up this round, it's not the 8-4 curse, it's the 9-3 curse, you know? It's going to be a really tall order for them going into that second half. They still have that res. It's been online since like round 3, and they are kind of using positions where they could res early death. But again, I mean, we're going to see the op-out for Kesnet. Billy, they need to go for 4 right here.
You want a chance. You want to try and stay alive. This round could be the gateway to it, and the timing's everything. And it's a quick approach from YZ. Oh, and again! Shots missed left and right. Both getting a second lease of life. Who makes the most of it? It looks like Melza for now going to take down YZ and Kesnet. Still standing, surrounded by the enemy. Oh, they're trying to wrap on him, but you can't shut him down, Crew! Support there, man. Keep Kesnet alive and keep the scoreline looking lethal. 9-3. Billy have the smallest of chances here, Josh. It is down to the wire going forward. It's now or it's never, or they're going home.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Every single thing that's ever thrown our way, we will just throw it right back. But being with you feels like home, because you are my home. Thank you for being mine. I love you.
9-3 on the half, and yes, we are on Icebox. Yes, this was Billy's pick, but Crew came prepared, Josh. They had everything they needed, and the question then becomes, is 3 rounds enough? And I think a lot of us have a feeling of what the answer is to that, but theory craft with me, what makes the difference? What keeps Billy in this? Is there something you see, or is it literally down to determination and the will to not lose at this point? Are we clutching at those straws already?
They used both of their timeouts on that first half, that attack side. They needed those rounds. Did they get enough? 3 going into it. It is the 9-3 curse, yes. But I want to see something that we've never seen before on this map, perhaps. It's going to be such a difficult crawl back into even just tying the game up. And I don't know if we've seen enough from them to expect that right now.
Let's find out. 9-3, as said. Crew now on the attacking side, Billy on the defense. And they have to be near on faultless, if not flawless, and they're going for a mid-walk. A brave play, a bold play, and perhaps one they have to go towards. Now the turret's going to know at least one.
They didn't break the turret though, so they don't have to worry about their flank. Crew They're going to go in. Once that Viper wall goes down.
Yep, and it's go time. Dizzy going to lead the way, clear through on site. They now know that no one's at least in the standard positions. First spot made, and the first frag found is going to be empty.
YZ?
What are they up to? Billy just walking in, hoping and praying that it works out in their side, and right now the prayers barely being answered. You've got a 1v2. Oh, it's not happening. That just fell to pieces.
Why? YZ. That is the airport code for Toronto.
The more you know. Speaking of airports, 10-3. I mean, that's not how you want to start it, Josh. Let's cut to the quick. Let's talk how it is. I didn't mind the start. I quite like them being proactive, trying to, take some of the map space away, trying to, play. I like the pressure. Yes, I don't mind that. But then, what was this approach with tap on the spike? They just flew in.
Not entirely sure. They have that Sage Wall. They should be comfortable letting the round develop, finding their openings, going in for that together. The together is the part that they're missing right now. It's so disjointed. Another stack here, though. Crew been doing such a good job on these types of rounds, finding out where that stack is, avoiding it, hitting that lane of least resistance. Shy. 1 for 1.
But you can lose that player. You're allowed to lose that player. Beyond that, that's when weapons start dropping.
We saw this on Lotus. As soon as Billy showed themselves, maybe even got a kill, they instantly tried to get ahead of the rotation and go to the other side. Crew, understanding this, learning from what happened in this last map, they're waiting, letting the round simmer a little bit. Now they're going to go back towards B. They know it's probably empty, maybe one person at most. That knife coming, getting broken. But it's going to be a free sight.
It is. The pressure's probably going to be through middle if you're looking where they are. And you're looking at YZ mostly. Still got a Sheriff.
There's no Sage Wall for this retake. It's just pistols and pure grit, I guess.
Yeah, how are you meant to break that against an Outlaw, a Guardian, and a Vandal with heat? We're going to need a round from the man on the screen, pretty much. YZ. He was on Raze. I might give him it, but this one, man, it is a tall task. You're kind of hoping someone plays him in. You got a flash there for yellow, but that's about it. He and Kesnick can probably turn that. Here we go. Can he even cross that far? Going to spot out Melzer on the way, but now the flash going to fade, and Crew digs their heels in. 12 is calling. I'm good. And Crew's survival looks more and more likely.
If you had one shot, one opportunity. Billy, they need to convert this round. It is the bonus round for Crew. Outlaw still in play. A couple of light shields on the Billy players, so that could be dangerous if Kesnet finds that opening.
Yeah.
And again, it's going to be so hard for Billy to actually get any sort of information into this round. They don't have that dart or drone from the Sova, which is, a really common pick, at least for any sort of drone initiator. But right now, they have to just go in. Aggression here.
Just praying they don't make it to 12, that they don't get the bonus.
Oh,
YZ. He went all in on it, but a blind spot. When I say spot, it was a mile wide. And that's an early pick. Melzer going to at least show presence elsewhere. No free rotations now, no quick flanks to be had. And Crew can pause for thought. They're still above a minute.
It's so good from Crew because they realize they have the advantage. They let Billy sweat. And Billy isn't really great in these situations where they go down a man. Usually someone goes exploring. We're seeing that right now from Flexen. And it might actually pay out in their favor. He has got all this garage line. Maybe lets his teammates know, hey, it's going to be a stack towards there now. Might be the saving grace in this moment. Crew still with a good grasp of this round. Sage Wall goes down. Now the hit is possible. Knifed. It's going to slow it down a few more seconds.
We're getting quite late here, though.
That Viper's going to bypass that turret. This flank is going to be everything. Now, Billy.
With the ult?
They just need to live on the site.
Yeah, can they survive? Oh, my, the fish got moves, and Crew got the site. Flexen has to save them again. We asked him for 4 before, and he's going to have to pretty much do it one more time. He gets 2. Shy, and Heat in unison. 12 was calling, and now it's been answered. It's 12 for Crew now. And Billy's hopes and dreams ride on this round. And there's not much more to be said here. They got a good map against Crew. This should have been where they could have pressured, but it's fallen to pieces, Josh. This is what it comes down to now. No armor on half of these rifles they're trying to buy.
9 rounds in a row. They have to win just to get to overtime for their basically tournament life. And just the way that Crew's been playing this.
The disparity is so evident.
So hard.
Crew are not letting this one slip, and Billy on the receiving end of all of that fire, all of that want. And 3 rounds is maybe all they're going to be stuck on here, but another chance.
Respect, though. They're still playing fearlessly. They're showing they're not afraid. They're on the ropes of going down, but they still open up aggressively. Didn't find what they wanted. Reset. Look for it somewhere else.
It looks like that mid-walk is their cure, their answer. And they only find Shy. Plenty of players spotted. That's 2 more players noted. YZ and Yosemite both going to be considered here, but he's still going for more. He's still trying. Fearless, as you said, but to a fault. There's still 3 players up against them. K-Knight, Flexen, and Yosemite. Kesnit, Mel's are in heat.
This positioning, though, from Yosemite, he needs that Viper. Flexen needs to be able to bait for him this Gecko Flash.
But he still at least has the alarm bot there. And now that gets dealt with. Does he swing on it? He does. Oh no, but the shot doesn't land how he wants it. But Flexing trying to save him. And now all down a heat with 14 HP. He's got a zoo worth of animals to go through to try and help him out, but still surely not. No, Flexing. Keeping them secure, keeping them safe. Another round. But it is a long road to walk this game back.
8 chances. That's Billy. I mean, they found their openings. YZ was able to not only get those openings, but they were able to convert off of it and capitalize. But it's just so tough. A couple of the players down there, 4 and 2 kills apiece. Right now, not having a good game. But it's so hard to get into these situations. You're on Sage. Basically, you spend the entire game walling up and planting. Yeah. And then as KO, you're the solo initiator. You've spent the entire game throwing knives and flashes so your teammates can get in. And it just comes down to those post rounds.
Yeah, and the worrying thing is Kesnit might just have a round. He spotted out 2 there. He knows where YZ is. He knows where K-Knight was. Or at least a pixel showed. And the swing from YZ, again, they're trying to play each other in here, but it's heat to punish. Takes down YZ, and they can sit back now. They can pause, Josh. They've got 1 minute 20. They're in no hurry.
Pause and make them sweat. Crew, it's their signature move. And it works really well because, I mean, when you sweat, you're on your tournament life here. Oh. They peak again.
Kesnit's got to be careful. Crew just taking their time. They can let this simmer for a second. No need to overdo it just yet. Still 2 knives to play with, but he'll need to
Sage wall.
Punish. A nice late Sage wall there.
It's going to expire. 13 seconds left in the round. The only way through it is over it for now. The rotation comes back into middle. Reinforce that B, but Crew probably just comfortable waiting it out and going at the last second if they need to.
Yeah, Crew don't mind running it late here. They're not the ones really with the pressure. They've got 12 rounds. They get the luxury.
Left.
Speaking of luxury, Heat's made it through with a quick attempt towards the side. That's going to be a
panic.
plant. And they've got to respond accordingly. Already there are issues here. Heat's doing a lot of work already this round. He's got support from Kesnit up top. And he's looking for a fight. Doesn't get what he wants. Neff going to keep hope alive. Bring it back to a 4v4, but you look at the deeper post plants, you're looking at the flank potentially for Flexen as well, who's becoming a heavy hitter for this team. But how many times can he do this? Neff gonna have the knife in 4, but maybe it's just the gun he needs! A 3rd claimed in the round, and now a 1v2.
He heard the flank?
He should have done.
Yeah.
Heat, can he keep this? Can he be the one to secure it? Oh my god! On a Heat of this round, forward secure it and keep them standing, but Flexing again! Time is close. Wait. I don't know if
I saw the circle.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
really
think he
not
has
sure.
it.
I think it's too late. It is! Crew making it through at the very end there. Billy are going to be devastated with this one. You thought with the map, or you thought with everything, they might have had enough to come through this, to have a close game. But Icebox, they were blown out of the water.
It wasn't even close in that second round, in that second map, but Crew looking really solid on their attack side. Kesnit being able to get some impact with that off as well. So still some life in them as they'll advance.
What a game though. And again, I think this just highlights that brutality of champions, how teams have to be able to rise to the occasion when it matters. Billy are always dangerous. We've learned that the hard way. We've seen how well they can play. We've seen their individuals. But in that crunch moment, the time where it counted, when it mattered most, Crew rose to the top. They found their footing. They played it right, Josh. I think from map 1, that's what we were saying. They were playing it right.
I think if we see them do this again in their next match, we could see a Crew that does go through. But right now, just getting to that next level, that next stage, that is something that they needed to do, obviously. And they've shown really good things in terms of the teamwork is there. They know the protocols, the macros. I like their attack side, the pacing, making the other team sweat. So really good job to them here. Props, of course. And obviously a team effort. So many flawless rounds too in a series.
Yeah, we're seeing them look good. A scary team to come across, especially when you're trying to just stay alive. But again, the quality of teams here is just getting better and better. It feels like every single head-to-head, every single time we see it, you know, down to the vetoes, a couple of win cons here and there. And I think the main part is kind of calling back to map 1. The fact that even with Billy putting up a very respectable scoreline in that first half, the big question being, was it ever going to be enough? Was that enough rounds? The answer very quickly came from Crew that it wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough, and had that first map gone a little bit different, maybe if it went into the favor of Billy, even if it was like a 13-11 or overtime, could Sunset gone in the way of Billy? I'm not super sure, but Crew is looking like they are in control and they have an identity that's carved out for themselves.
And that's the big question going forward. Is that identity enough to play against the big boys now? Their first struggle, the first time to try and stay alive, they made it past that test. They secured the first step at somewhat safety. But something you want to hear and I want to hear is the Verizon post-match interview down Shy.
Attackers win.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Verizon post-match interview. I'm standing here with Shy after his win and of course with Dan to help out with translation. Of course, 네, 크루 비자의 샤이 선수 만나보도록 하겠습니다. 승리 축하드립니다. 오늘의 승리로 내일을 만들어내게 된 크루 비자입니다. 아무래도 두 팀의 에임 대결도 대단했고 샤이 선수 이렇게까지 좀 행복해 보이는 모습을 본 적이 없는 것 같은데 오늘 경기 어땠는지부터 물어보도록 할게요. Congratulations, Shy. You look so animated. I've never seen you that excited. We had some heavy hitters on both teams. You know, there was aim battles happening as well. But Crew Visa won. You guys live to see another day. So thoughts on today's matchup?
Hoy te veías muy animado, te veías celebrando. Eran dos equipos que tenían muy buenos jugadores, mucho aim, peleas de ambos lados. Pero ¿cómo es que te sientes ya que puedes vivir otro día y de este enfrentamiento?
Siento que esta victoria era lo que necesitábamos. Necesitábamos como agarrar ese momento en el stage y siento que ahora, gracias a esta victoria, vamos a poder ir con más confianza, sobre todo como en el hecho de confiar en cada uno de nosotros, de que de verdad podemos ganar y pasar de grupo. Así que nada, feliz con la victoria y eso.
I think this is the win that we needed, the win on stage and the win to think that we can believe that we can actually make it out of the groups. So it feels good to get this win and start this momentum.
확실히 오늘의 승리가 정말 크루 비자가 필요했는데 아무래도 이렇게 승리를 거두게 되면서 정말 그룹 스테이지를 통과할 수 있겠구나 하는 자신감을 얻어가는 그런 뜻깊은 승리였다고 얘기를 합니다. 말씀해주신 대로 이제 다음 경기가 푸나틱인데 이기면 조별에서 플레이오프로 진출할 수 있게 되거든요. 마지막으로 샤이 선수가 개인적으로 푸나틱을 만났던 건 코펜하겐 때인데 그때도 레비아탄 선수이기도 했거든요. 푸나틱이 그때 샤이 선수를 탈락시켰는데 이번에 좀 어떤 각오로 푸나틱을 만나고 싶은지도 여쭤보도록 할게요. Now, speaking of making out of groups, you guys are facing Fnatic next. You personally, the last time you faced Fnatic was when you were on Leviathan, and that was back in Copenhagen. Fnatic eliminated you guys, so, ready for revenge? What's your mindset heading into Fnatic matchup?
Hablando de salir de los grupos, la siguiente partida va a ser en contra de Fnatic y la última vez que tú te enfrentaste a Fnatic estabas en Leviathan y fue la partida de eliminación en Copenhague, así que estás listo para la venganza.
Sí, o sea, siempre lo dije desde que clasificamos a Champions que los dos equipos que quería enfrentarme era DRX y Fnatic y curiosamente me tocaban en el grupo, así que estoy feliz porque el hecho de enfrentarme contra los mejores me impulsa a llevar a mis límites y sobre todo quiero esa revancha que me quedo como esa espinilla desde Copenhague y nada, estamos listos y si de verdad quieren ganar tienen que demostrarlo.
Yeah, since the beginning and since we made it to Champions, I said that the two teams that I wanted to play against was DRX and Fnatic, and it's really funny because we ended up playing them in the same group. So now it feels really good to play against them, and this is a matchup that I've been looking forward to, and revenge that, you know, since Copenhagen I've been having that kind of left that now I'm able to complete.
먼저 크루비자가 챔피언스 진출을 확정 지었을 때 딱 샤이 선수가 DRX랑 푸나틱을 만나고 싶다라고 얘기를 했었는데 딱 어떻게 조가 이렇게 나와서 좀 경기의 이른 시작부터 이렇게 두 팀을 만나게 됐는데 이제 푸나틱을 상대로는 코펜하겐 때 뭔가 그 복수를 해주고 싶은 마음이 계속해서 남아 있었기 때문에 다음 경기 무척이나 기대가 된다고 하고요. 마지막으로 또 크루비자 하면 미라클런의 대표팀이잖아요. 미라클런의 시작일까요? Lastly, is Crew going on a run?
Última pregunta, ¿van a ir en un run, Crew?
¿Cómo?
Como si van a... Este es el inicio del run de Crew.
Ah, sí, por supuesto. Siento que va a ser el comienzo para mí de algo histórico, así que vamos.
Yeah, of course. This is going to be the beginning of something historical, so of course.
역사적인 크루의 미라클런의 시작이 바로 오늘이 아닐까라고 얘기를 했습니다. 이렇게 해서 샤이 선수 만나봤습니다. Vamos, 샤이!
Vamos.
And that's all we have for day 7 here at VALORANT Champions Seoul. Vamos, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow. Vamos.
Vamos.
Indeed, indeed. Vamos, Crew. They pick up the win. We're all vamosing. Oh, I vamos every day.
Are you vamosing?
I am in a perpetual state of vamosing. Constantly. You know what I'm saying? I'm always here, and wherever I am, I'm vamos.
Vamos, Kesnit, vamos!
I mean, I'm unironically crouping after this game.
Yeah.
It has been so long, the drought, since this team won an event at a global event. They didn't win one at Champions 2023. They didn't win a game at Lock-in. It's been like 700 days since the last time this team picked up a match win at a global event. And I honestly couldn't be happier for these guys to be able to do it here at Champs.
700?
And 3 days.
That's a lot of nuts.
Yeah.
That's a lot of nuts.
Basically 2 years.
That's a lot of nuts. Wow, well, okay. Well, congratulations, Crew. They pick up a massive win, and, well, of course, he had
What does that even mean?
I'm dying.
It's Kung Pao. It's one of the greatest movies ever
Kung Pao.
created.
It's a very good movie.
Yes,
you should watch it.
Isn't that a type of
It's
chicken?
a millennial classic.
It's very good.
Anyway, well, folks, unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to both Fun Plus Phoenix as well as Billy. FPX. First, we'll talk about these guys.
I feel so bad for them
Yeah.
because at Masters Madrid, they play the 2 finalists and lose, and here they're seeded into the group of death, and they play again against 2 top teams.
Yeah.
Heretics, a close loss, and then Sentinels, another loss here. It's brutal. These guys are legitimately good, but they've yet to get a win at a global event.
Yeah, it's going to hurt now in the here and now, especially today with them being freshly eliminated from this tournament. But I think that there's going to be a bit of, bittersweetness to it as they can look on and see the rest of their region potentially doing good and potentially going deep into this tournament as well, carrying the torch for them, which I think is going to be one of the only things that they've got really to look forward to. But Trace are looking nasty. Same with EDG, there's always potential there that team's going to turn up. They really did impress me. So I think it's bittersweet, and obviously it hurts for now, but I mean, the potential that we've seen from these teams, it's there, and maybe they'll be able to bring that back to the regionals for next year. Maybe they'll be able to improve upon it as well.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's all about with the global experience that you get at these tournaments, is the improvements you can carry all the way back home.
And I think we already saw that, right? When VCT went to Shanghai for a Masters event, how much the Chinese teams leveled up, getting able to get out of your region, scrim against international competition, get match experience on a stage like that is huge. And I think that has really been reflected in the amount that the Chinese region has leveled up. And that's no difference for these 2 teams that got eliminated today.
Couldn't agree more. That's just the stuff that happens on the stage. Let's not forget that all these teams get opportunities to scrim. I mean, we, again, talking to IC and bring it back from what we talked about this afternoon, but IC talking about how we played Trace, and we were like, dude, these guys are demons. If they get to an event, they're going to pop off, and look where we are now. I have no doubt in my mind that Billy's going to be putting that work forward. I hope, Coach Bao gets more time with the team, just continues to develop with them. And then for FPX, I want them to continue to maintain their uniqueness, maintain their identity, but hone in some things a little bit more, Mimi.
And not to pull out too much, but I think it is also really just cool life experience to get to go and travel to another country and get to compete and have these different opportunities for FPX this year. Well, it didn't end without a real success globally. They got to play in front of their home crowd in Shanghai, and they got to play in front of more international competition here. And I think people are going to really remember how well they played in all of these games. They were really an unknown roster going into this year, and I think that should change for the 25 season.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, we were, talking about VCT China as a region, really being a one-team region at the time, but we're really starting to see this region develop and grow.
Three-team region.
Talent.
We're waiting to get more.
Three-team, and hey, we're probably going to get more next year. I mean, look at their trajectory. It's been absolutely phenomenal. But let's go ahead, though, and take a look at our pick'ems powered by AWS. And interesting thing I want to note here, only 3.2% of pick'ems had Trace Esports in first.
I mean, it's not insane. It's insane that they pulled off the upset and did it.
It's insane that 3.2% people had Trace going in first. They were clearly privy to information that we were clueless
Insider
about.
trading.
There was some specific stuff about, I think, like, it was a lot of... I think the majority of these came from the China region because somebody revealed some data regarding it as well, which is understandable, right? Because if your favorite team is Trace, you're going to be, predicting them to do quite well. But they have defied most people's expectations, especially mine, and they've just been going from strength to strength to strength to strength. I'm here for it, man. I keep saying it every time we get upsets, but this is what the global events is all about. I think seeing just the unexpected results, if it all went as you'd expect, nobody would be watching. I wouldn't be watching.
Exactly. That's what makes this great. That's what makes this sport great, baby. Well, let's take a gander at the bracket and where we are right now in the competition, because with those eliminations now, we're going to see Crew Visa taking on Fnatic, and then Sentinels against Gen G, the run back, the salty run back. All right, little curly mustache accent.
Look at that
group.
Good. Yeah. That is a brutal group to be in, and only one of those teams gets to escape now.
That's the Masters Shanghai and the Masters Madrid winners.
Yes.
About to eliminate one another.
Yep.
Ridiculous.
That is
that's
shenanigans.
where we're standing. It's unbelievable, the fact that listen, that group is stacked even from the get-go. Not many people, I think, even had Heretics coming out as the #1 seed in that group. I definitely didn't.
Yeah.
And
I think everyone thought Gen G would.
Yeah. I mean, it just seemed like a no-brainer watching how good they were.
Yeah, well, here are going to be your matches for tomorrow. You got Talon going up against Vitality, and then Foot will be taking on Paper Rex. Remember, these are all elimination games. You lose here, you're done in this competition. And those games, genuinely don't know where they can go.
There's so many interesting questions I have coming in with that. The opener for Vitality Talon is, can Talon still get the same value by playing those crazy compositions when a team's had time to actually sit down, VOD review, and see them? That's my big ask, I think, because those comps are great when you throw them out of the team and they are basically thrusted into basically finding out what the weaknesses are on the fly and adapting. But listen, Vitality have the luxury of just sitting back and watching a lot of VODs on their gameplay.
But the question is also, how well can Vitality bounce back? They got punched in a big way in that opening game, going down into the lowers, getting upset in that match.
Same for Foot.
I mean, for that team and for Foot as well, coming to these international events, do they have what it takes to actually fight back and run the gauntlet to make the playoffs?
It's going to be tough, but that's what Champions is all about. This is where you need to show the world what you are made of. Otherwise, you'll be taking a trip to the sidelines and looking at someone else raise the trophy. But that's going to do it for us here today. We thank you so much for joining us yet again. It has been an absolute roller coaster. Incredible games, top to bottom. Sentinels fans can breathe a sigh of relief. Hell, America's fans can breathe a sigh of relief. That's very, very true.
You can breathe for a night.
Yeah, for one night and one night only. And then we'll see what happens after that. But folks, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll catch you tomorrow right here, same time, same place for more Champions action live from Seoul, South Korea.
Bye-bye.
It's our first elimination match of the day of the event. You got Sentinels and FPX. Let's take a look at the series layout. You got Bind, Lotus, and if necessary, we'll be taking a trip over to Abyss.
This is so bold. What a punish. So reckless. Life for 3 on the round, and Berlin cleans it up. 2 in tandem, just pushing their way forward, trying to mow over Sentinels, and it's Autumn who cleans things up. Seconds left alone. He's trying to tuck down 22 HP. Is someone over the top? He's got it behind him. Second with the 3K in the round for Sentinels. The threat has been realized. Lysor falls, 3v3. Op still in the hands of Autumn, but Berlin not around for long.
John on the tap. The shot's not going to connect. Zels is still playing up, and Hookah finally dealt with. Finally dropped! But it's a Moroccan miracle. John gets 4 on the round. Sentinels roared their way through a dominant second half to take Bind 13-8. Tens has his ult if he wants to rotate over very quickly, or John can just mow him over. There it is, the ult invested, and he arrives to see Zelsys holding the line on C. Forward, Zelsys holding line, only able to find one though. As Tens on the spam, connecting onto the second with John QT over his shoulder. A 2v2. Can John do it on his own? He's gotten it down to 1. The spam, pre-connecting, and it will be the Red Bull clutch for John QT. Sen City stays alive as they take down FPX.
What a comeback from Sen.
We have to expect this to be a scrappy slugfest between two teams with their backs against the wall. But if there's one thing for certain, these teams are going to give everything that they have, because this, Mimi, is an elimination game. Put up or shut up right now.
Kesnit to send him back though. You can't brawl these guys. Oh my god, what is going on between these two? Crew wanted all this chaos. They had the Guardians, the Stingers, the bits and pieces, and they're being rewarded. Oh dear, K-Knight, you clutched before. You can't do it now. That Stinger deadly. But there's more players here. It's not just him. There's 2 more, 3 more, almost 4. All of Billy now make it to the site. In the 1v2, K-Knight does have the right fall, but the 1v1 shy. Oh! It just took away K-Knight. There's no way out now for Flex, and he's got to be careful how he does this. And he dips away, but it's shy to draw blood. Billy with a couple of steps, but his crew keeping numbers, dropping bodies. K-Knight falls. It's crew with map 1, 13-9. They make it through the chaos. But there's no respect being shown for crew. You gotta force it, you gotta make them respect you, and that's why they don't. Kesnit's great for it. Melzer on the follow-up. They're locking this down. Now does it swing though? Billy's starting to clear out, but Heat's made it here. The whole crew is on site, and they are moving. Should have done.
Yeah.
Heat, can he keep this? Can he be the one to secure it? Oh my god! On a Heat of this round, forward secure it and keep them standing, but flexing again! Time is close. Wait. I don't know if
I
that's
saw the circle. I don't think he has
it. I think it's too late. It is! Crew making it through at the very end there. Billy are going to be devastated with this one. You thought with the map, or you thought with everything, they might have had enough to come through this.
Got any words for the opponents today?
For the opponents?
Yeah.
No, not really. You're about to get cooked.
Yeah, I would say just gonna be like block bet, I would say.
We got this.
What we do is we create the best strats in the world.
Don't worry about it, we're good. We're very confident.
We're going to win this tournament.
You wanna win the whole thing, you gotta face everyone. Happy gaming. Bye.
Bye.